Hi, this is Luke Sanders out of the University of Northern Iowa Guitar Studio here today talking about the 2023-2024 Iowa All-State Jazz Guitar Etude, which you just heard me play through. I wanted to give you some insight and tips and tricks on how to better prepare for this Etude yourself as you begin navigating your jazz guitar journey. And so that first tip, and maybe the most important and often overlooked when I'm listening back to student submission etudes, is tone. Tone is king. Tone is maybe the most important thing we do because it makes us sound more like a jazz guitar player. Now, there are a lot of different ways we can sound like a jazz guitar player. For instance, Bill Frisell sounds a lot different than Charlie Christian or Pat Martino or Pat Metheny even. But find someone for you that you like and that sounds like a jazz guitar player. I think some of the best models for tone include players like Joe Pass, players like Wes Montgomery, or players like Emily Remler, if you're looking for a place to start. So make sure you work with your band director and listen to a lot of recordings to kind of find where your instrument and your amplifier best make jazz guitar tone. Often we're looking for something warm, something full in sound, but also very precise in articulation. So make sure you take care of tone. Tone is king. All right, tip 2 is talking about the single line melodic gestures that happen frequently throughout the etude. Now, there's not much advice I can give you other than learn it, play the right rhythms, play the right notes, but I want you to know we want to sound as much like a horn player as possible while playing these. So the biggest thing to keep track of is when are our notes short and when are our notes long, which on guitar, we don't have to think about articulation that much, but it's vitally important to the character of this music. So take a look at letter B. We have just a little bit of this excerpt. Bop, bee, boop. Bop, beep, boop. So that first note, short, even though it's a quarter note. Bop. The second note, long, because it's an eighth note as part of an eighth note line that starts on the beat. And then the last note is short because it's an eighth note followed by a rest. Bop, beep, boop. Right? Then, ba-dee, bee, doo. Holding on to the long note because it's tied over. Ba-dee-boop, ba-dee-dee-doo. All right, tip 3 is talking about the dictated rhythm comping that happens periodically throughout the etude. There are 2 types of comping that we experience. We have some free comping, which is notated by the slash notation, which happens a lot in the piece, and that's not the same as like Freddie Green strumming. We're not going 4 to a bar. We're not doing that, but we'll talk about that in tip 4. Instead, I'm talking about when we're giving specific rhythms to hit chords on. And that's very important to hit because those are usually lining up with something that the rest of the band is doing. And so you're telling me or the listener or whomever that, yes, I know where I'm at and I can make pretty much full horn hits, but with my guitar. So we're going to take a look at letter C. And I have this F major 7, G minor 7, up to an A flat minor 7 that's dictated in the rhythm. You could choose to play some full voicing chords. However, I think at the tempo and the fact that they're all eighth note upbeats, it's kind of tricky to do that. And the payoff's not as much because it's so quick. So instead, I'm going to think more efficiently and practically with my chord voicing. So I'm going to take this F major 9 voicing and just the top half, just the top 3 notes. I'm not even putting the root in there. I'm going to move from that into this very movable chordal voicing, a la like a McCoy Tyner type of sound. And then I'm able to hit that A flat minor 7. So taking a look at C, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And that's a lot easier than trying to do or something like that, where you're having to navigate a little bit more of the fingers. So efficient, practical, but precise. All right. Last tip is talking about free comping over the Iowa All-State Jazz Guitar Etude, which is notated anytime we have 4 slashes in the bar line, which is a lot of this piece, especially on the second page. I'm going to be talking about the second 4 bars of letter C just to have an easy place to talk about. So there's a lot of ways to think of this, and different players will sort of have different ideas of how to approach this, but I can give you a few hints to get you started. And the first is aim for the ands of the beat, or the upbeats of the measure. And specifically, we want to shoot for the and of 2 and the and of 4. And the swing pattern of our ride cymbal that the drummer's playing, ding, ding, ga-ding, ding, da-ding, ding, they're hitting that. And so us as a comper, we can hit that too. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. It's a good way to fit the style. Additionally, you kind of want to alternate between sustained voicings and shorter voicings. If we want to be really meticulous about it, we can say about 2/3 of our voicing should be short versus 1/3 should be sustained. So that might sound like this. So 1, 2, 3. Right? Nothing too crazy. Mostly shooting for the upbeats. Additionally, a little known guitar trick that I actually learned from a vibraphone player when I was in high school, who came and did a clinic when he was comping, and then when I was comping, he was so jealous that as a guitar player, we can slide into and out of voicings using the exact same shape, but using the voicing we want to land on as the upbeat hit. So looking specifically maybe at that B flat 7 sharp 11 chord, I might be thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, F. Right there, and the chord of the moment hits on the and of the beat. And you can anticipate that kind of a measure before, or a half a beat before. So looking at this excerpt, that B flat 7 sharp 11 can technically start on the and of 4 of the measure that has F major 7. Similarly, that A minor 7 can happen half a beat before, or on the and of 4 of the measure with the B flat 7 sharp 11. So you can get really creative with this, find different ways to free comp. You can use this in your big band, or if you're lucky enough to have a combo at your school, these will start to make you sound a lot more authentic to the swing tradition as a guitar player. So best of luck in preparing your auditions. Please let me know if there's any way I can be of help. Keep rocking out, or I guess in this case, jazz.